The good, the bad, and the odd. Our favorite quote from Nosferatu is,
welcome to this episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Odd with your hosts, Mark and Sam. Hi, Sam.
Hi there.
All right, so this was a free choice. I think my free choice, right?
It was your free choice.
Yeah, but because Val Kilmer has recently passed, I wanted to do a Val Kilmer film. We actually threw a few ideas around, weren't we? And there is a lot of choice, Tombstone, Willow, even Top Secret, things like that. Batman Forever. But we went with Top Gun. Top Gun is what we've gone with. Because am I right? You've never seen Top Gun before?
Never seen it before.
Okay, so this is a first watch for you. We'll get into that in a bit, but let's do a comfy chair first. This will be a short one because though these episodes will go out like 2 weeks apart, it's quite close to when we recorded Sinbad, right? So I haven't had the chance to watch that much.
Yeah.
So I think we both just got a couple of things. And I've honed my list down to just 80s movies. So the first one I want to talk about is Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Okay.
Oh man, this is just great. I don't know, man. I really like First Contact, but I think Wrath of Khan might be the best Star Trek movie. I'm not sure. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it is Wrath of Khan.
It's got that Shakespearean epicness about it as well as being damn exciting, right? That's what really makes it. Though there is some Shakespearean epicness in First Contact with Picard going full Ahab.
If you want Shakespearean epicness, Star Trek 3.
Well, and 6. And 6. Well, Star Trek and Shakespeare aren't that far apart. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Star Trek loves a bit of Shakespeare, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But Wrath of Khan, I mean, Ricardo Montalban is just awesome. As the bad guy in this, and the whole cast get to do stuff, and I quite like that. Chekhov's
it's normally like Kirk, Spock, and McCoy, and then all the rest sort of do. That's it. But in this one, everyone's doing something.
Yeah, even Scotty gets a chance to show his grief over a young cadet that stayed at his post when all the others fled. And things like that, right? They just add and add and add. The whole film just builds into something great all the way through. It starts great and just gets better and better and better. And of course, the final sacrifice by Spock is quite the moving piece, isn't it? Even though, in hindsight, it's like, he's coming back. We know he's coming back.
What's going to happen? I wouldn't know he was checking Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.
Yeah, but I do actually like how they brought Spock back. It was quite kind of clever, the whole, and then the fact it takes number 4 to actually, it's still recovering, right? It's still getting over it and things like that. The whole 2, 3, and 4 are just a great trilogy in their own right. And work as almost like a single film because it's all about them stealing the Enterprise, because they want to get Spock back and then saving Earth by getting a whale and stuff, all that kind of business. And I read the other day, humpback whale population has massively increased in the last 20 years. So thanks, Star Trek. And I don't mean that. Yeah, sorry, go.
As I say, if there was one thing I wanted more from the next gen films, it was to have a sort of overarching story thread like these 3.
They really didn't, did they? I mean, First Contact is a great one-off, but they didn't build in any way. They kind of got weaker and weaker in many respects. And the thing is, Nemesis should have been on paper. It looked like an epic sort of Shakespearean thing. Picard battling his younger self, but they just did not deliver. And it was Tom Hardy as well. Tom Hardy. Yeah. That should have been awesome, that film, but it just didn't work. I don't know why. It just didn't. But Wrath of Khan, I mean, it's a classic. That's about it, really. Okay, over to you.
Okay, so my first thing is I actually ended up watching a new movie, the Minecraft movie, or a Minecraft movie.
Minecraft. Is that what it's called? I thought it was just called Minecraft.
No, it's a Minecraft movie.
Jack Black, right?
Jack Black as Steve, our protagonist, is a guy who found sometime in the 80s or 90s, found a weird little cube in a mine, and it opened a portal and he ended up in the Minecraft sort of world.
Okay.
Now, some 30 years later, the cube got sent back to the real world with a dog of Steve's because he got captured. And shenanigans unfold. We got Jason Momoa and Emma Myers, who are probably the names you'll know. Emma Myers was she was in Wednesday. The Addams Family show. I vaguely remember you saying you'd seen that.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the blonde-haired girl in that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was a good cast. Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Momoa is this kind of like washed-up has-been, like game store owner who used to be like a big, what would be the 80s equivalent of esports. Like he was on this old game called Block City Battles or something like that. So it's a parody, but it's kind of a weird adventure movie. But I was surprised by how actually funny it was. There was lots of I think one of my friends described it best. There's a lot of very Airplane-esque humor.
Yeah,
like you just don't expect some of the lines that come out of it when you're sitting there watching the Minecraft movie. I do recommend watching it. There's a weird subplot.
Yeah, you enjoyed it, right?
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Oh yeah, I like Jennifer Coolidge. She's always good.
Don't really recommend to go and see it at the cinema because people keep shouting all the lines from the trailers, which does spoil it somewhat.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah, I don't really understand it. It kind of became a bit of a meme, but yeah.
I read somewhere that the original one that Jack Black, was the choice in the end, was Matt Berry. They wanted Matt Berry as Steve.
Matt Berry is still in the film.
Oh, is he?
In a bit role, so.
Oh, okay. So you enjoyed it, though?
Yeah, it was fun.
I'll probably catch it when it's more easily available, if it gets to streaming or something. But I've got no desire to sit at the cinema particularly. There's not much around that I do want to see at the minute. I haven't been to the cinema in a month because there's just been nothing on I want to see. Or maybe even longer, actually. I think the last thing I went was The Monkey. I think that was the last movie I went to see at the cinema. Which I think is still around. It's doing really well, which is interesting, given it's a horror film, because they don't usually last that long in the script. It's been over a month now. Anyway, my next one is something from the 80s, and it's Eddie Murphy, and it's Beverly Hills Cop. This really did elevate him a lot, but however, he was well known at this point. I mean, the film that really started his film career was one called 48 Hours, which was like the first 80s buddy cop film. Before Lethal Weapon, Beverly Hills Cop, Nick Nolte and Eddie Murphy, and it's a bit rawer and more actiony and violent than not more violent than Lethal Weapon. That's not possible. But it's a bit more gritty. But then he did Trading Places, which he was fantastic in, and then he did Beverly Hills Cop, which was originally a Sylvester Stallone vehicle, believe it or not. But they recrafted it. Basically, a slubby cop going to Beverly Hills where everything's done by the book and the cops wear suits and things like that. And it's him dealing with that, and it's Eddie Murphy doing his thing, making lots of Eddie Murphy like jokes that probably would cause people to blanch these days. I'm not sure. I don't know though.
I think he got like a more modern sequel with Eddie Murphy in it again. Hang on a sec.
Did it? I know there's a 2 and a 3, and I'm going to get to. I intend to watch those as well over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop Axel F.
Oh, there's a. Oh, well, I might get to that because I'm going to watch 2 and 3, and I might give it a go. But I haven't heard much about it. But I kind of like some of these more modern retakes. Are pretty good, Some are a bit dismissible. I really like the Shaft one. I think that's the best of that type. The Shaft one that I made a couple of years ago. That's so good. But Beverly Hills Cop, really fun, actiony, violent. Ronnie Cox is in it, from RoboCop as the chief of police, and he's got 2 detectives he's assigned to watch Axel. So it's kind of fun. It's Judge Reinhold from Gremlins is one of them, and then another guy, and they're kind of having to deal with this cop that's like not playing it by the rules that they're used to, and they're all very straight and always tell the truth. And he's saying, "Oh man, you got to learn to lie." You know, he's teaching them how to lie. And at one point, he's like, "Oh, I'm getting a drink. I know you guys have got a trail. Do you want to join me for a drink?" No, we'll just wait. He goes, "That capture." And he takes him in the strip club. And then a robbery happens, so he helps take it all down. And then the police, there's comedy in, like, the police chief said, "Why were you in a strip club with the person you were assigned to follow?" And all that kind of business. There's lots of sort of comedy around that. Stephen Burkoff is the bad guy. He's basically an art dealer that's smuggling all sorts of shit. But they cross Eddie Murphy's character by killing his mate, basically. And he wants to be assigned the case. He doesn't, so he goes, "I want to take a couple of weeks vacation," and then he goes off to Beverly Hills on his own. And him dealing with Beverly Hills pretentiousness is kind of part of the fun as well, right? But yeah, really good fun film from the 80s, quite enjoyable. I think this works better for Eddie Murphy doing it than Sylvester Stallone doing it, to be honest. But yeah, I guess the Stallone one might not have been a comedy. It might have been a more serious. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, I'm glad we got this version. So yeah, good one. Back to you.
Okay, so my other one is actually a game I've replayed that also has Matt Berry in it. It's Thank Goodness You're Here. Very British like puzzle game that you play as a guy wandering around the fictional northern English town of Barnsworth.
Yeah, you've talked about this before, haven't you?
Yeah, I've talked about this previously. It's very fun. It's very short as well. And it's very, very British. There's a language setting. There's English, and then there's local, which just means it subtitles it as it's said, not a stated approximation. It's really funny. So
yeah. Okay, that's cool. I did play this a bit, but I got stuck trying to do something with a sausage in a cellar, and I just couldn't figure it out, so I just stopped.
Yeah,
I'm like that. I just but I did enjoy it. Yeah, I do. If it ain't really, really easy, I'll just give up. Yeah. Okay, but it is fun. I will vouch. It is a lot of fun, and I did enjoy it until I got frustrated by I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I'm wandering around this entire set trying to find something, and it's not happening. So I could have Googled it, I guess, but I couldn't be bothered. Anyway, right, okay, that kind of wants a very short, comfy chair for this week. Okay, let's get into Top Gun. Right, Top Gun. So first viewing for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just quickly recap the story and then we'll get into what we think of it and all that business. So Top Gun, we see a couple of pilots, a couple of flyers. One's a pilot, one's a co-pilot, which is Tom Cruise and Anthony Edwards as Maverick and Goose. In some shenanigans in the Indian Ocean, and they encounter a MiG when they really shouldn't, and have some shenanigans around that. But one of the guys they're flying with kind of cracks up. The other pilot they're flying with kind of cracks up. Is what's it? Is Cougar, right? Cougar is his name. He kind of cracks under pressure and kind of resigns. And he was due to go to Top Gun, the top of the top flight school in the American Navy Academy. It's a well-known place, but this made it even more famous. Which means Maverick and Goose now get their shot, right? Yeah. So they go there. There's some controversy. We do find out that there's something happened in Maverick's past about his father, who apparently died in action, but it's never been talked about. So there's this hint that he may have bottled it or done something wrong, but no one's told Maverick, so that's a bit of tension. And then basically they encounter other people. The most significant one is Val Kilmer's character Iceman, right? And who's antagonistic because he does everything by the rules. He never makes mistakes. That's the thing. He's an Iceman. He never makes mistakes. He does everything by the book, and he does not like Maverick because because it's dangerous. Right. So there is all that. So there's all these shenanigans. Oh, in the meantime, Maverick's trying to start a relationship with someone who appears, he doesn't know at first, is one of the instructors, civilian instructors, played by Kelly McGillis as Charlie. So he tries hitting on her at a bar, doesn't really work out. Then he encounters her in the classroom, and then there's a bit of to and fro. They eventually hook up, don't we? We also meet Goose's family, Meg Ryan, and a little boy who does come back in the sequel, Top Gun Maverick. Talking of really good sort of sequels to stuff, Maverick's a really great film. Maverick's a really good film. It's then they're doing these basically flight games. So they're doing harder and harder tests. Maverick nearly gets busted for taking out someone under the flight deck too low. Yeah. Only just too low.
Which I looked into the terminology. Flight deck is their code word for this is the ground in an actual combat situation.
Yes. Yeah.
So you go down to the flight deck, the high deck, you're dead.
Yeah, you're dead. Yeah.
Things over.
The flight deck was very high on this particular exercise.
Yeah.
Anyway, and he basically says, well, he only went down because he knew he was going to die, right?
Yeah.
He knew he'd be getting shot down. Anyway, so Maverick manages to get through. Tom Skerritt's the main instructor. He's called Viper. He's like the best of the best, Viper. He's famous. But there's an accident in the very last track caused kind of by Iceman, isn't it?
Yeah, weirdly. Well, not kind of.
He gets cool. He basically won't get out of the way when a shot could be taken by Maverick, and then as he pulls out, the jet stream effect causes Maverick's thing to go into a spin. They eject, but Gooseman, it doesn't eject properly.
Fires him into the cockpit,
and kills him.
Break
his neck, it kills him, right? And then we get quite a long section where Maverick's emoing it up, and he doesn't know what he wants to do, if he wants to continue. Looks like
he's more broken up about it than Goose's wife.
He seemed to be, Viper then tells him about his father and says, he wasn't a coward. He was instructed to come out of combat when his plane was damaged, and he continued and saved 3 other pilots before he was shot down. So that helps that a bit. Anyway, Maverick finally does go back. He doesn't get the Top Gun prize. That goes to Iceman, despite Iceman messing up that last thing. And then they face real combat, don't they? Unexpectedly.
Yeah. Against literally the enemy. No stated opponent. Even though there's red stars all over the MiGs.
Oh, but there's MiGs. They're MiGs.
Yeah.
And they basically, Maverick beasts them, and they give him the choice of he can go anywhere he wants to now because he's so awesome, and he chooses to go back to Top Gun as an instructor. Then he meets back with Charlie at the bar. There you go. That's the story. So, first viewing, what did you think of this film?
It was a fun film.
Yeah. It's kind of almost a classic. I mean, it's not a perfect film by any means, but it's. I mean, all of the plane stuff just looks so awesome.
Yeah, well, they've got actual like Navy flyers to do it.
Yeah,
so these are like actual Top Gun guys. So.
Yeah, some of those flight scenes are quite amazing. Tony Scott put together a great film here. The script was okay. I'll tell you what, I always have struggle after the bit Goose dies until Maverick finally goes back. I just find it really draggy. It drags the film.
Yeah, because it's about 20 minutes of basically Maverick sitting in a bar.
Yeah.
And then he gets invited to Viper's house.
Yes. So apart from that, I really like this film. The other thing it's famous for is the homoerotic undertones that are barely undertones, really. With the top, and it's such a sweaty film. So sweaty. It's
there's genuinely bits where they're just all stood in the shower room, not in the shower, just stood there sweating. It's like, do something, please. Like something else. And then, of course, there's playing with the boys. Like,
yeah.
There's no getting around it there.
Yes. And there's lots of hints about sort of homoerotic stuff, like saying, "Oh, she's a woman, really? Was it a woman this time?" And stuff, jokes like that, and it's kind of okay. I can see what. And sometimes you think, "Oh, Iceman and Maverick, just get a room, will ya?" Because they're like doing flirt.
Not even Iceman. I'm thinking Goose.
Well, Goose, Iceman, everyone. It's a film full of sweat and flirting. That's what this film is. And I had to laugh because Danger Zone's played so much in this. I finally looked up the lyrics because I've never really listened. And they make me laugh. Listen to some of these lyrics. Revving up your engine, listen to the howling roar, metal under tension, begging you to touch and go.
Yeah.
Hold on, there's more. Heading into twilight, spreading out her wings tonight. She got you jumping off the deck and shoving into overdrive. I think there's some text there. I think there's some text there. Yeah. So, and there's some more. You'll never have. Oh, you had enough. Have you had enough?
Yeah.
There's plenty of this. Yeah. It's a good song though. Kenny Loggins again, right? We encountered in Footloose. Really, we need to do Caddyshack to get the 80s Kenny Loggins trifecta.
I think.
Oh, we've done Caddyshack. Okay, well, we've done the Kenny Loggins trifecta of 80s soundtracks then. So, yeah. It's a good song, though. I do like this song. That and Take Your Breath Away. Pretty good. So, it is extended plane porn, basically.
Yeah, this is military propaganda.
Yeah,
like there is no beating around the bush. Apparently, there was times where the Navy would literally set up recruitment, stations outside of cinemas that were showing Top Gun.
Yeah.
It's so predatory. Like that's fucked up.
But that's what the military do. That's how they do it. That's how it works.
That doesn't mean it's right. So,
okay. But they've got to get a recruit somehow, right? Right. So let's pick out a few of the scenes. So the first scene is we get the headmaster from Back to the Future as the head of the main captain on the battleship aircraft carrier.
The aircraft carrier.
That guy. Like him, I always liked him. Shouting at Maverick and getting really pissed off at everything. I
will say, every character's opinion of Maverick is right. He is a problem. It's just he's too good of a pilot for them to actually do anything about.
Yeah, and he keeps flybying and annoying the shit out of people, doesn't he? So, even though he gets refused permission every time. So they get sent to Top Gun. Goose and Maverick get sent to Top Gun, which is in Miramar, right? But then he tries to. He sees this woman in a bar, Kelly McGillis, looking very fetching, has to be said. And he does. He starts.
We get the super creepy flirting scene.
The singing the song.
Singing the song while she looks terrified. Yeah, and then following her into a bathroom.
Yeah, that was a bit much. That was a bit much, wasn't it? Really, they didn't need to do that, but it's a bit odd. But she can hold her own, and she's not that bothered by him. It appears.
Yeah. They find out that it's because she's his instructor, and she's I don't care. So
she's used to fending off all these guys, right? So Also, we get Michael Ironside, which is always awesome. Michael Ironside's always perfect. I mean, I like him in everything. I mean, it's probably the only good thing in Highlander 2 is he's the bad guy. But
I don't think
he's the bad guy.
He was in Highlander 2. Oh,
yes, that's about the only thing I like about it, to be honest. Anyway, let's not get caught up behind. So Viper and Jester. His codename's Jester. Viper and Jester talk about how good Maverick is, but can they trust him in combat? There's all that kind of business. And he does, after the Goose incident, he does indeed freak out a bit, doesn't he? Did you catch Tim Robbins in this? Because I always forget he's in it. And because he's wearing a mask most of the time, you don't really know it's him. He's Merlin. Tim Robbins from Shawshank Redemption, right? He's Merlin.
So.
Oh, okay.
I've seen anything with Tim Robbins in here in a sec. you carry on, I'll see if I saw.
Yeah. So he's Merlin, but because he's wearing something over his face for virtually the whole film, you kind of don't register him. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
he's been in other films. Shawshank Redemption's his most famous role, Andy Dufresne. We also get Meg Ryan briefly. She's very good, though. She's good as Goose's wife, and she has the famous line, "Take me now or lose me forever," while he's singing Great Balls of Fire with his kid. That's a fun bit in the bar. I like that bit.
That's kind of sweet. And then Maverick goes up and starts singing with him. So
yeah, of course he does. Yeah. Because, him and Goose. Yes.
Him and Goose and their kid. Goose.
They're constantly sweating and in a locker room somewhere, basically. I did like the fact that and Iceman, even when he's sort of facing up to Maverick and basically give him the evils, is kind of flirty. It's kind of flirty. Like when he snaps his jaw. Like, why'd you do that? Why is he doing that? There's a bit of that. I do have a story about this film, which I've told you, where I accidentally ruined it for someone. A really nice chap, American guy who worked at an air base, came to a barbecue I was doing running, and a really nice bloke, and he was talking about Top Gun, how it was his favourite film. I said, yeah, man, it's great. It's a great film. But that subtext, And he says, well, what do you mean? I said, the homoerotic subtext. And he's like, there's no subtext. And I said, you probably need to watch it again, mate. He did come back to another barbecue, and I asked him if he watched it again. He goes, I had to threaten the bin, which, all right, it's a little what's it these days, but I ruined the film for him, basically, unintentionally, which I felt bad about because he was a nice fella, but it is kind of funny. In a way. But it's there and it's fine. I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, it's common in films. Loads of classic films have that built in. Ben-Hur famously has it built in. The sort of antagonism between Ben-Hur and Masala, I think it is another character, where it's a love-hate thing. They've been friends, almost brothers up until, their 20s, and then they fell out really badly, in a really bad way. And there's films like that all over the place. So this is just a modern version of that. What did you think of? You've probably not seen Kelly McGillis in anything, right?
Not as far as I'm aware. Hang on a sec.
She's she's famous for this and a film called Witness with Harrison Ford, which is a really good 80s film. I can't think of much else she's been in. She's probably been in loads, but I can't think of anything.
I've not seen her in anything else.
And Val Kilmer's pretty good as Iceman. He's great as Iceman. And it's good to see him again. It's a shame that he's passed. But he's got a couple of really good iconos. There's this one, and probably Doc Holliday and Tombstone are his big ones. But he's great in like Willow. He's pretty good in Batman Forever, even though he hated doing it, apparently. He's pretty good. And Anthony Edwards is really good as Goose. I kind of like that. Tom Skerritt, we have seen him in Alien, for example. And stuff like that. I think he's also, is he in Star Trek? Old school Star Trek, that is. And of course, Michael Ironside, we know. So,
it's been like seemingly every other film that we watch.
Well, it's maybe we need to consider Michael Ironside for our Hall of Fame. Maybe one more film. Not Highlander 2, though. But we've seen a bit. What we've seen? Total Recall, right?
Total Recall, Starship Troopers, Karate Kid.
Yes.
What else have we seen?
Well, that's a pretty good run. Apart from Next Karate Kid, the rest those are all. Starship Troopers is awesome, and Total Recall's awesome, right? So that's it. I just. The whole look and feel of this film, the shots they get in this film are spectacular. And the planes taking off, landing, all of that business. It's those planes can really move as well, considering how big and bulky they look. And it did make me laugh when he says things like, "I'm going to brake now," and obviously they're not braking. He's cobering, isn't he? He's going upwards. But that means the other guy goes past him, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Tactic commonly used in the RAF in the Falklands War because they had Harriers which could literally stop in midair.
Yeah.
They were able to do that. So they called that Viffin in the British Army. Or about them, or the press did. I don't really know. But yeah, in it we have this love story, which kind of works. There's a bit too much sticking tongues in each other's mouths in silhouette for my liking, frankly. It's so 80s, so 80s.
Yeah, there was a lot of silhouetted lovemaking to take my breath away. So, yeah.
Yes. Now, this didn't make Tom Cruise famous. I think that was Risky Business, right? But this was only a few years after Risky Business, and it was. I mean, he's basically got the film. He's the film, right?
Yeah,
it's all built around him. So his star quality was obviously shone through on Risky Business, which I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, he was in other films in very small parts, but Risky Business, he was the lead, but that was kind of a gentle comedy kind of thing. Legend he made before Top Gun. We've done Legend, right? And he's pretty good in Legend. And then Top Gun he made after Legend. And also this year, 86, he made Colour of Money, which I've never seen, but it's supposed to be a good film. I think Paul basically Colour of Money was a sequel to The Hustler. You know The Hustler? Paul Newman, I think, won the Oscar for Colour of Money. And he's also famous for things like Rain Man, right, and things like that.
Yeah,
and then various films.
Then we start to hit Mission Impossible. And,
yeah. He was also a very good Lestat in Interview with the Vampire. I think he really nailed Lestat quite well. Wasn't expecting him to. And famously, the author Anne Rice put out press things. I didn't want, Tom Cruise and all that. She wanted Rutger Hauer. After seeing Blade Runner, she wanted Rutger Hauer as Lestat, which I can definitely say. But she relented quite quickly once the film came out. She said, "No, I was wrong. He's a great Lestat." So, yeah. And, Tom Cruise has been around since the mid-80s and probably the most famous star in all that time, would you say?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, back then, in the 80s, it was probably Arnie and Sylvester Stallone were the big ones, right? And then Bruce Willis came in. But Tom Cruise has just been up there for so long now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I have to say the sequel to this film is terrific. Maverick is really terrific film. It's got no bagginess, right? It's just full-on action and great-looking shots and all sorts. I really like Maverick. Have you seen... You probably haven't.
No.
Well, it's a treat. I've got it in 4K, so next time you're around, if you want to watch it, we can watch the 4K. It is a really fun film. I think it's a better film than this, but it is nowhere near as iconic as this. This is an iconic film. It sort of goes beyond just reviewing and pointing out its flaws. It's just one of those kind of films. Everyone's got to see it, and there you go. So did you mostly like it then?
Yeah, mostly enjoyed it, aside from Tom Cruise's, Maverick's being obnoxious around the midpoint with the flirting and just being a pain in the ass. But that was, I enjoyed everything else. So.
It was the only thing I will say about the flirting stuff, at least Kelly McGillis always felt like she was not the object in how can I put this? She wasn't she was given as good as she got. That's how it was presented, right? So that at least was a good thing. Though, going in the bathroom was that was beyond the pale, really. But it's a fun film, and as I say, that baggy last act is a bit annoying, but it finishes with a real flourish when basically Tom Cruise beasts He does an Ace Rimmer, right? Basically,
Yeah.
some of that.
Speaking of that, Ace Rimmer's theme is basically "Take My Breath Away."
Yes.
So.
Well, that they use that in Red Dwarf, I'm sure. Yes,
that's his theme.
Yeah. Basically, because it's Ace Rimmer's Maverick, right? That's the thing. Or what's it from from Star Wars? Not Jason Isaacs, Oscar Isaac's character.
Yeah,
it's a bit like that too. Okay, let's wind up this episode. We got a bit of feedback. I did solicit some feedback because of Val Kilmer passing. I wondered if anyone wanted to send it. Got one piece of feedback, quite long though, so it's kind of cool. From Bruce Hannon. Hi, Bruce. I think our number one listener, actually.
I think so.
Yes. Hi, Bruce. So here we go. Hey, Mark and Sam. Val Kilmer's passing was a sad one. He appeared to be a genuinely lovely person off screen, and he was a highly talented actor with an amazing screen presence. The two outstanding roles for me are Jim Morrison in The Doors, which I haven't seen. Have you seen that? I've never seen that. I've seen clips, and he does really look like Jim Morrison from The Doors. And Doc Holliday in Tombstone, which I have seen. Yes, he is absolutely amazing as Doc. It steals the film pretty much. Have you seen Tombstone?
No, I haven't seen that.
Okay. But he is excellent. We'll have to cover Tombstone at some point, I think. It's just worth seeing. It's a great film. I don't think anyone else other than the actual Jim Morrison could have played that better. And Doc Holliday is one of my favourite characters in any movie. He was cool as hell, and Kilmer shone through in a movie full of really strong, charismatic male actors. I agree. It was a really strong film all round. But Val Kilmer nailed the fact this guy was an absolute stone cold killer, right? And you knew it when he appeared, right? You just knew it. And even the tough guys would be like, calm down. Anyway, I am sure you guys will also cover other great movies he was in, such as Willow, Top Secret, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and Heat. Did we do? I thought we'd done Willow. We might not.
I'm fairly certain.
I think we've done. Yeah, Top Secret. I considered that for this watch. But the thing is, what happens is, with comedy films, you just talk about the funny. You just end up quoting the funny stuff. That's one of the problems with covering comedy films. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, I haven't watched myself about a year ago. I'm not sure we'll ever get to that, but maybe we will. And Heat I've never seen, and it's supposed to be really good. It's got Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, and so on. It's a gangstery bank robber kind of heisty kind of caper, serious kind of film. Another favourite of mine is The Salt on Sea, and it's definitely worth checking out if you have not seen it. I don't really know anything about that film. Okay. So then he goes on to say, as far as Top Gun, it's one of those movies that literally everyone loved back in the VHS rental days. It's got Friday/Saturday night movie written all over it. Similar to Tombstone and Heat, it is another movie full of testosterone, and Kilmer definitely matched anyone else on screen. I would have to say Iceman was cooler than Maverick. No pun intended. I think he was. Apart from the end, he kind of blew it, right? He blew it right at the end when he wouldn't get out of the way. And I have to mention the flight scenes. They're outstanding and still hold up today. Yeah, I mean, we've talked about it,
Yeah.
I bet many a kid wants to be a pilot after watching Top Gun. Yes, I mean, they set up recruitment brews outside the movie theaters, didn't they?
Yeah.
The Navy. Then he goes on to say, and general feedback. What can I say? I've probably listened to every single episode every week for the last 8 or 9 years. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Well, you like it, I suppose. You're committed, like we are.
Well, you're just so lost in sunk cost fallacy at this point.
Yeah.
Yes. Committed, so.
Yeah. Yes, that I need to get a life. Ha. No, we didn't say that. We didn't say that. No, we didn't even imply it. Right? But thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Bruce. That's very kind. Yeah, I mean, Kilmer's got a lot of other stuff we need to get into at some point. If we haven't done Willow, we definitely need to do Willow. That's right in our wheelhouse, isn't it? But I'll double check. I'll go back and double check that. I wouldn't mind covering at some point too.
Yeah.
So yes. So that one's up the feedback. Yeah. So let's get to rating, shall we?
Okay. Yeah. So I'd put this about a 8 out of 10.
I think that's fair. I'll give it an 8 as well. Yeah, it's a solid film. Glad we got. It was good to see Val Kilmer in something. I think I'm going to watch a few more Val Kilmer films, so I might be talking about it in the next Comfy Chair. I'm thinking, Willow or something like that. I might watch a couple more. I've never seen The Doors. I've never really wanted to, but apparently he's really good in that, and it's quite an interesting film. But I might give it a go. I'll see. All the other ones I can think of, I've already watched, like Willow and
Batman.
Maybe Batman. Batman's such a turn your brain off thing. So yeah, maybe it'll be better. We'll see. Okay, let's wind it up there. So bye from me.
Bye.